What's up, everyone? It is your girl Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and it's time for another complexion corner, girls. So first of all, let me show you these eyes real quick and cute. Like, you can tell me which eye you prefer down below in the comment section. But this is a old school versus new school that should be coming to you God only knows when, because y'all know I got 40 or 50 of them just sitting around in the can waiting, and all the new products keep launching. So okay, well, we're doing a complexion corner today, so you just heard a primer roll off onto the floor. Bring a drink, bring a snack. I hope you did, because girl, it's about to be a long one. Y'all know I bought a whole bunch of stuff during the Sephora spring sales event, so we're gonna review some of it. I got a couple of new things that I got that I already have my feelings on, so we're gonna review those. So I got like powders, I got like blushes, I got bronzers, I got, when I don't have blushes, I have bronzers, I have highlighters. I'm gonna do the blushes and a roundup all on their own, along with a couple of other complexion products that I'm still trying to try and feel my way about. But without further ado, let's get into it, because girl, it's gonna be a minute, because I got like 5 primers. I know 5, it's absurd. So let's start off with this Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Hydrating Primer. So I got this because my girl Bath Beauty, or Stephanie, was talking about how amazing this primer was, and then I'm pretty sure it was her, and I know Morgan Turner was talking about it was really nice as well. So I was like, let me go ahead and try it out during the sale, because it was actually in stock during the sale, because it had been in and out of stock for a while. I had tried it in the store once and thought it felt nice and hydrating on my hands, so I was like, let me go ahead and grab it when the time is right. But the time is right because the sale was there, so I tried it out. I actually really like this primer. It does give a nice hydration to the skin. It does give a little bit of luminosity to it as well. This is a primer I like to mix though, so I like to mix this with the, what is the Hygiene primer that Natasha Denona came out with, that gives you like that radiant glow from within situation. I like to mix it with that to have a nice radiant glowy like kind of primer to put down on, so you can kind of still see it throughout your foundation. So even though you have a matte look, you don't have to worry about it being oily, because you have a primer on, and you don't have to have that skin like foundation on. So that's my trick for me, being an oily combination person, to use these hydrating S-type primers, and then use mattifying powders, foundations, and all that stuff. But make sure you use like a hydrating luminous primer that's gonna, like, you know, glow from within, so even when you have these mattifying products on, you still see a glow from within. Or you can use a illuminator, and that's another trick you can use to make sure your foundation looks like it's glowing from within, if you use a matte one in the summertime. Those are just 2 tricks that I use, if anyone's curious. But I really like this primer. I was quite impressed with it. I plan on using it some more. I'm probably going to use it more in the winter time than I do in the summertime though, because again, y'all know I have oily combination skin, so she got to keep it hydrated, and I mean, she got to keep it, you know, like mattified and suck all them oils out, because honey, I plan on being out here in these streets this summer for once, and I don't want my face, you know, looking a hot mess, so I gotta handle all that. But yeah, so I love this primer, and I was very impressed with it. That's what it comes down to. And I'm gonna do a video where I show y'all all the different things I mix together and how I mix them together. I'm trying to find the box that has the other stuff that I already had together to mix. I don't know where it is right now, so I'm just throwing it over here, and y'all figure it out later. Yay. The next primer I have to talk about is this short silver. This is the Invisible UV Flawless Primer. Flawless looking skin plus daily defense. It has a broad spectrum of SPF 50. I have been loving this primer. I've been using this primer every day for like the last week or 2 just to test it out some more, because I really like it. What I like about it is the SPF that's in it, because it's like a lot of the time I'll forget to put on SPF, so when I get ready to go to work, I have the SPF in there for my car drive, which is like an hour, and they say SPF is supposed to be applied every 2 hours. So it's like I'm inside for the rest of the day, and by the time I get off work, it's dark outside. So this is perfect type of product for somebody like me who forgets. So if you forget to put on SPF, this would be perfect for you. Now, you're supposed to reapply it every 2 hours, but like I said, since I work at night and I don't go outside for the first 2 hours on my car ride, this works for me just fine, and I'm asleep during the daytime. So if you're like me and you're a night owl, or you work the graveyard shift, this would be the perfect primer for you if you wear makeup, because the first 2 hours on your car ride, or just getting ready and then getting to work, it should have the SPF in it to last for you on your face, and you don't have to worry about all that. And I've actually been able to see that my dark spots are, like, you know, gradually going away with that, and using my retinol tonight, because I've been remembering to put an SPF on with this primer. It's also really nice and smooth across the skin. It makes a nice base for you to put your foundation on top of. So I really have been enjoying this. I'm quite impressed. I had looked at it a while ago and meant to buy it, and then I had forgot about it because so many other things came out, and I don't really hear people talking about it. But I remember watching Too Much Mouth's video about recommendations for the sale, and she ended up buying it just like I did, because she said Andrea Renee had bought her makeup for Sephora for her, and I think she had bought Andrea's. They did like a switch video or something, and that's how she ended up with the primer. But I remember I had liked it, so I just threw it in my cart when the Sephora sale came, and we tried it out. So this primer I ended up getting in a sample, when I had bought something from, I think it was Nordstrom's or Saks Fifth, one of those places where they give you samples when you buy your beauty products. This is the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Primer. I love this foundation, but honey, when I saw the price of the primer was the same as the foundation, I was like, look here, bitch. Who told you this primer should be $90? Who told you that? I mean, it's an amazing primer. I've talked to Danessa Makeup here on YouTube and on Instagram about this primer, because she had got the sample around the same time I did, because we had both bought something from, you know, a luxury or a high-end store that had this primer as a sample, and she said she might end up getting through the sale. She ended up not getting it and getting some other stuff, but I ended up getting the full size one because I liked it that much. It is an amazing primer, but I'm gonna say get it on sale. I like it, but I still don't like it to the point where I feel like it's worth $90. It's just $90. I can't. It's $90. Like, it's crazy. I'll do $90 for a foundation, but it's like for a primer, I can't. It has cute little, sorry, it's not pop up just like the foundation, if you will, but I just can't bring myself to pay $90 for this primer. It is amazing though, and if you can get it on sale for the 20% off at Sephora, then I'd say consider getting it. But no, sis, I can't encourage you to get it for $90. I was trying to see if I felt like it was similar to the Gucci primer, which is why I ended up bringing it back, because I gave you my thoughts on the Gucci primer. I really like it. I feel like they're somewhat similar. I don't think it's comparable. Like, if you got this thinking it was gonna be like the Tom Ford, it's not. It's similar to the Tom Ford, but it's not exact to the Tom Ford. I do like the Tom Ford better than I like this one, but it's like, if you don't want to pay the higher price that it comes with the Tom Ford, the Gucci one is still pretty nice. Now, Gucci is expensive, just like, you know, Tom Ford is, so it's a little bit cheaper. It's not a whole lot. I think this is $65, and the Gucci and the Tom Ford is $90, so it is a little bit cheaper. But I'd say get this one on a sale too. I don't necessarily think it's like a need, because you can buy like the Pore Eclipse from Milk Makeup if you need a mattifying primer, and they will do a good job. These just feel like they have more skincare ingredients in them, and they feel like you're putting on skincare more than you are a primer. But if you just want a mattifying primer, you should go ahead and get one of those, and then splurge on stuff like this when it comes to the sale, because I like it, but I don't think it's revolutionary enough to where I feel like you need to be paying them type of coins. Now, the Giorgio Armani one I think is pretty reasonably priced. I think that one was like in the 40 to 50 range, so it was the cheapest one out of all the high-end ones we're talking about. But again, that's one I'm gonna use mainly for like the winter time, not necessarily now. So I'm trying to like get you to get products that you can use for now that'll work for your skin. But I feel like I didn't do that great a job, because the only one I would recommend you buy right now is the Charlotte Tilbury one, and that one's high because I think that one cost me like $54, and it's only one fluid ounce. So to me that's high, but for me it's just worth it because of the SPF that's in it and the reason I told you earlier. On to the next primer, girl. So I have the, what is this? The Freck primer, the Rich Freck primer. It was weird using this the first time because it comes out really sticky and weird like, and then the color of it doesn't really help. It's a whole mental thing. Like, whenever I see it, I'm just like, I wasn't that impressed with this primer, believe it or not. I just thought it was okay. Like, I feel like everybody tried to make it seem like it was this wonderful thing, and I was just like, this is it? Like, oh, okay. I have other sticky primers that do the same thing, so I'm not personally impressed with this. I'm not gonna tell you to buy it. It was okay, but it's like, it's not anything exceptional where it's like, oh my god, yes, I'd have to tell you to rush out and buy it now. You have to have it. You don't. Like, if you don't have this, you'll be fine. Life will go on. You know, you'll have a lovely day. You don't have to have this. Like, I'm not that impressed with it. I'm keeping it because I already paid for it. I'm too lazy to take it back to Sephora. Plus, I threw the box away, and it's a whole thing. But I'm not necessarily crazy about it. Now, I'm not going to put it in like the worst makeup of 2023 because it wasn't that bad. It's just more, since I have so many other sticky primers, to me it was just another sticky primer that didn't like give me a wonderful feeling. So I don't personally think it's worth the price, but it's not because it's a bad product. It's just when you have so many products like that, it needs to do something different to wow you, and it didn't do anything different to wow me to where I felt the need to, you know, be like, oh my god, yes, buy it now. Like, no, you don't have to buy it now. You don't have to buy it at all, and it'll be fine. So on to the foundation. So I have 4 foundations, and then I have 2 concealers, some bronzers, some powders, and then we'll be good to go. So I'm gonna start off with the drugstore one this time. So I have the Revlon, what is it, skincare Illuminates, sorry, skincare foundation. I have the shade 505 Rich Sand. If you all remember, we did a video comparing this one to the Makeup by Mari one because they have a lot of the same ingredients in them. And like I said before, I don't have an issue with this foundation. My issue is, excuse me, the lack of coverage. So this one is not giving the coverage that I need. That's my issue with this foundation. It's not the formula, because the formula is just fine. The formula is just as nice as Makeup by Mario's. It's a little bit thinner than Makeup by Mario's. I feel like his is a little bit thicker, but otherwise I feel like it's a fine product. If you like your skin but better foundation looks, then this will definitely be for you. It's just not giving enough coverage for me. The product is fine. It's not up to my level of coverage, and when you try to build it up, I feel like it doesn't build up that well. So that's why it's not doing it for me. It's fine as a product. It's just not going to give the coverage that I want. So this to me is just a mixer foundation. But if you wanted the Makeup by Mario and you're fine with it having a tad bit less coverage than Makeup by Mario, then I would definitely say go ahead and get this one, because you can get this one for under 20 bucks at CVS, and then y'all know they have the extra bucks, and then they give you the coupons, and then if you part of the what is the Care Club thing or whatever, they already give you $10 for free. Then if you use some coupons, you can get this down to probably like $5 or $6, and that's gonna be way cheaper than the Makeup by Mario price that I paid. So I would say get this if you're interested in the Makeup by Mario, just as a good alternative for you, and then maybe build it up with some concealer and use the foundation powder when you put it on your skin, as opposed to using, you know, a what do you call it, as opposed to using a setting powder that's not going to give you as much coverage. So it's a good product. Just don't expect to get the coverage that, you know, if you're a full coverage girl like me, that don't expect to get that type of coverage, because you're not. Okay, so next I have the Guerlain Terracotta Perfection the Healthy Glow Natural Perfection Foundation, 24-hour wear, no transfer. So it says it's 95% naturally derived ingredients. I love this foundation, y'all. Like, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. Now the shade I got is like one shade too dark. I should have got like shade 6 instead of shade 7, but it's like I wasn't sure which shade to get, and y'all know swatches be deceiving and all that. So what I do is I just mix a little bit of a lighter foundation in here. Like, I'll show you the one I've been using as a mixer for a lot of stuff, because if you all remember, I was not a fan of this Westman Atelier, what is this called, Vital Skincare Complexion Drops. I have the shade 11. I actually need the shade 12 because I wear shade 12, and I thought I wore shade 11 when I ordered this, but that's okay because I just mix these two together and it's a match made in heaven, honey. Mixing this is an excellent mixer for foundations that I'm not necessarily crazy about, or that I want to have a little thinner consistency to, and a little bit of like glow from within look, when I want that like your skin be better kind of healthy look, if you will. That's what I use this for, to mix. But I love this foundation. Like, I wish I had bought the right shade now, because in the wintertime it's like I'm having issues trying to use this because it's already darker than it's supposed to be. But in the summertime I feel like this is perfect. So this is going to be one of my go-to summer foundations for sure. I love this foundation, and this is my first Guerlain foundation that I tried, or is it Guerlain foundation that I tried, but I really love this foundation. And I love this combination. So this, like I said, it's just a combination for me. I wouldn't dare wear this on its own. Y'all saw when I wore it on its own, like how it was lacking the coverage. The lack of coverage was so disrespectful. And the fact that this is such a high priced item, I do not think it's worth it at all. I would say get the Fenty Eavesdrops if you want something like this, because to me this just isn't worth it by a long shot. The Fenty Eavesdrops even give you more coverage than this. To me, this literally gives you like no coverage, and it doesn't really serve a purpose other than to be a mixer, and it's a really pricey mixer, so I don't recommend it at all. That's just me. Get the Fenty Eavesdrops, get the NYX Skin Blur if you really like full coverage but you want to call it a BB CC cream situation, then get the One Size Beauty one. But it's like, I would never recommend this in a million years. To me, this is a disappointing product that would go in a disappointing product box if I have any left at the end of the year, because I plan on mixing this in with this as long as I can to make it look gorgeous until I run out, and then just never buying it again. Because it's like, if I want a mixer, I can get a cheaper mixer. This is like $60-something and it's outrageous, whereas this is $60-something and it's definitely worth it to me. Or it might have been more. I honestly don't remember. I feel like it was $65 though, and this foundation looks stunning on me, honey. It's giving everything. If you all saw my video where I did the try on haul from Sephora, then you know, honey, I was like over here thinking I was doing it. I was like, it's giving, I'm here for it. Yes, I love it. Next foundation I have, y'all know as soon as I put this on, it was love at first sight. This is the Skin Stick from Colored Rain and Multi-Use Foundation Stick. I have the shade 510 Neutral Golden. Honey, when I rubbed this on my face, y'all saw like you could not tell I had added foundation to my face. This stick is amazing. If you haven't seen that video, I'll try to remember to link it up above. I make no promises. Y'all know I'm bad at adding cards. The only card I usually add is the end card when I remember to do that. So I love this foundation though. Like, I will easily buy another one of this foundation, and this will be one of my go-to foundation sticks just because it matches my skin tone so well. Lorraine, honey, y'all did that, okay? Y'all did all that. This literally matches my face. When I rubbed it on, I could not tell where I had rubbed it on my face. So you did that, Lorraine girl. And then it looks like your skin but better, and then you can just put like a nice little medium coverage concealer or a full coverage if you just extra like I am, and just go about your day, set it with your setting powder and whatever else you use, and honey, it will look like skin. They'll be like, does she have on makeup or not? Because it will look like skin. Unless you overdo it like I do, and then it'll look like a beat like it does now. But you know, the point is you can make it look like skin if you do the minimum when it comes to all the extra stuff. I'm just not going to do that. But yes, and this is so affordable. Like, I think this was $15 or $18. How she got it so low and made it so amazing, I don't know. Her and Thread Beauty, they out here doing the Lord's work with these foundation sticks. So honey, I am going to re-up on my Thread Beauty when I have like that much product left in it. And I'm not even joking, like there's literally that much. I was like scraping on my face, and like skin was hurt. The plastic was hitting the skin on my face because I was trying to use it, because I had this over here for a video, so I couldn't use this. It was a whole struggle bus situation, girl. But you know, needless to say, I said get it. Next, I have this disappointing concealer, which I was sad about because I wanted to like this brand, but it seems like they're into that your skin but better, like, you know, no makeup type vibe, and we know that's not the vibe over here at all. Like, you see the beat. This is makeup, honey. We're wearing it, you're seeing it, all that. So this is the Amy Cole Deep 2.5 concealer. If y'all remember, like, this wasn't giving me any coverage. Like, when I put it on and blended it out, it blended it away to nothing. Like, it's not giving the coverage that I need at all, because I need a full bait. I'm sorry, this is a skin enhancing concealer, but yeah, it's not giving any sort of coverage. Like, this is one I would use to highlight my face or pop in the inner corner to give extra brightness on top of a full coverage concealer, because it's not giving any of what I need. If you're a your skin but better girl, jump on it immediately. I feel like you will really love this. But it's dark circles underneath it from not getting enough sleep, so it's like this just ain't gonna cut it. I'm gonna highlight my face with this to like make it work for me, but it's like she's not giving anything I need. So this is definitely one you will see in worst parts of 2023 for me, just because she's not giving the coverage that I need, and you know I need coverage. Now, Natasha done pissed me off with this concealer. I had to put it in a bag because it dropped off my counter and like just completely, the whole thing is shattered, and the top part where you have to twist it off broke. So that's why it's in the bag, because as you can see, it's concealer all over here, because the thing literally broke off. It broke inside of here. So that's why I have all this concealer and stuff on here, because it literally broke inside of there. So this is glass. Be careful with it if you don't want it to break. Now, I didn't know it was gonna break like that. I literally just had it sit on my counter and it fell. But the concealer in here is amazing. It's just you have to be really careful with this, because if it drops, but I told y'all lately, like, all my makeup just be falling and dropping and be pissing me off, because I'm like, I spend a good grip on makeup and I don't need stuff breaking and falling and stuff happening to it. But it's been happening consistently, just like with this concealer. But the concealer is amazing. I really like it. It is more of a creamy formula though, so you're gonna have to set it well if you're a person who puts a lot of it on. The key is to put a little on, because if you put a lot on and it's really creamy, it's not gonna set the best, and it might end up creasing on you and you end up looking crazy and you'd be upset like I was about it breaking. But you know, otherwise it should be fine. Just make sure you set it with powder well. Sorry y'all, it's itching. But set it with powder well underneath there, and don't use a lot, and you should be okay. But otherwise, you're probably not gonna like that concealer. But she needed that concealer to revive, because y'all know that Transfix she had, you put it on there and as soon as you blend it out, it just blended away to nothing. It was really nice thin formula, but it was like, it didn't have any coverage to it and it didn't last. So I'm glad she came out with this new formula. I feel like she should come out with a new foundation too, just because it's like the three she has. The Transfix foundation is nice. The X foundation, I think she's getting rid of. I think she's getting rid of all her complexion though. So I'm hoping that means that we got new complexion coming in 2024, or is she gonna launch some complexion close to the end of this year in 2023 to go with this concealer she just came out with. I don't know, but I'm hoping she comes up with concealer. And why don't she have any powders? That's what I've always noticed. Like, she has like, I think one translucent setting powder or whatever. Like, Natasha, where are the powders? Everybody else has powders and like complexion collections. Why don't you have one? There is no powder on Natasha's website when you think about it. Where's the powder, Natasha? I don't know if since she's more, does she have dry skin herself and that's why she didn't think other people need powder? Like, Natasha, why don't we have any powder? Because I even hear people that have dry skin using powder. So why don't you have any powder, Natasha? I just want to know. I'm asking for myself, not even pretending like it's a friend. Natasha, where's the powder? So hopefully when she comes out with the foundation, she'll come out with a powder the next go round and it will be good. Okay, so speaking of powders, we're gonna get into the powders now. So I've been using this Huda Beauty, what is this? Easy Baked Cherry Blossom Cake powder. And I've actually been pleasantly surprised by it. I was concerned about me not necessarily liking it because it's like pink and not thinking it would necessarily work out for my skin tone. It worked out better than I expected it to. This is what it looks like. But it worked out better than I expected to. She's still using that strong perfume scent, even though everybody told her to stop. So she just said, fuck us, she don't care. And I mean, in all fairness, I guess I can understand how she feels because it's like, if y'all keep buying it, then why should I stop? Why should I stop putting my fragrance in my powder if you keep buying it like a whole clown? Just saying. I guess you just supposed to hold your nose and pray as you like patting that you don't like pass out from having to pat on the powder and like close your nose in to make sure you don't have to smell the perfume. I don't know, but I think it's a good powder. I mean, she just changed the color of it. This is one of the staple powders in the community that everybody loves. I just did a video talking about staple products that are old school that people still talk about, and this was one of the things in it because it's like, you know, people still talking about this powder, using this powder along with Laura Mercier, because it's like they coming out with more colors still. Like everybody's coming out with a pink powder right now, so I'm like, it's definitely, you know, a whole staple in the community, and I'm glad I got the pink powder just to be able to try it on my skin tone to see how it works for people my skin tone, because I'm actually quite impressed with it. So now I'm thinking about buying the one from Patrick Star because I love Patrick Star's powder. So I'm wondering how that pink one will work on some of my skin tone, but it's like I want to swatch it and store in my hand and see how it looks, and it hasn't come in store yet. I also want to try the Gwen Stefani stuff, but I wanted to pick it up in store and it still hasn't showed up at the Sephora where I go, so I'm like, I'm waiting for it to come in store to see how the color's gonna look, because y'all know sometimes them contour creams be looking gray and crazy, and I don't want to be part about that. Angelica Nikovic said it's really nice, and so it's the highlighter, but I don't like the color she chose in the highlighters because it's like I don't always want to have to buy 20 different gold highlighters just to try everybody's formula, because you don't want to make any shade other than gold that work for people my skin tone. So I doubt I'll get the highlighter unless the peachy one looks okay for me, because I like peachy gold highlighters as opposed to just, you know, traditional gold highlighters or like deep bronze highlighters, because it's like there are plenty of those on the market that I can already get. I don't need to buy yours. Next I have the MAC Studio Fix Pro Set and Blur Powder in Dark. Y'all, I'm obsessed. This is like a powder version of the what is it, the Skin Finish Dark Deepest. That's what it gives me. It blurs, it looks okay, y'all. So back to what I said about this powder. This powder is just as nice as my skin with a mineralized skin finish. Now I've never actually tried the Studio Fix original powder, so I can't compare it to that. I've only tried the skin finish, but to me this is like a more blurred, gives more coverage than that, but it still gives me the same feel as that. So it's lightweight on the skin. It gives the same feel as the mineralized skin finish, but it gives more coverage, and I feel like it blurs a little bit better than that one does, even though it gives more coverage. So I love this stuff. Oh my goodness, y'all, I am obsessed with this. I use a little powder puff that comes inside with it. As you can see, it's quite dirty and disgusting. I should probably wash that, but you know, we'll get to it eventually. I had to put it in this video first because I tried it like 2 or 3 times. I was like, yes, I love it. I already love it. I already know I love it. I don't need to like keep it at home for too much longer. I just need to tell them how amazing it is. So if you were interested in this powder, girl, reach, snatch, go grab it. It is amazing. And I want to do a brand you sleep on as you shitting on MAC, because I feel like even though they don't have the habit that they had when I was in high school, they're still out here giving and serving, and you need to appreciate it and remember and go grab the old stuff that you have, or maybe go grab a couple new things as well. So the last thing I have to talk about, at least when it comes to powders, because I still got a couple, I got like 2 or 3 bronze and things to talk about, is the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Luminous Perfecting Pressed Powder. I have to shade Translucent Honey, because now that they have Translucent Honey, I need Translucent Honey everything. Honey, y'all know this shade is my type of shade. The only thing is this reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury to a certain extent, because it has like that shimmery, glittery like type particles in it when you put it underneath your eyes. So if you put too much of this on, you're gonna be shimmery, sparkly, and crazy looking. So use this with a light hand. I found it out the hard way. I looked underneath my eyes and like I saw all this glitter, and I was like, where did this come from? And I feel like it came from here. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling the glitteriness of it. I'm not feeling it. Once I tried it with a lighter hand, I feel like it didn't do as much of that. So just be mindful and use a light hand with this. I like to put it underneath the eyes and the places I highlight my face when I don't use the Tatcha powder. the shimmering powder because it looks really nice. And the place I highlight when it comes to concealer, I just don't like to put it underneath my eyes. So I have 3 bronzer things to talk about, or contour bronzers, and then we'll be done. So I love this new Victoria Beckham Contour Stylist Sculpt and Detailer. I've only had it like maybe like a week or 2, but I already know I love it. I have the deepest shade she came out with. I think it says it's Granite. And it's crazy because I brought the Westman Atelier just to show y'all the difference. Like the Westman Atelier does not give as deep a tone, and she just came out with this deeper shade. So how the woman that's not a makeup artist can come out with a deeper shade than you can, I'm trying to understand. Because when I swatch me, you're going to see what I'm talking about. You're going to be like, really? Look how much deeper that Victoria Beckham is than Westman Atelier. You the makeup artist. Why can Victoria Beckham come up with a deeper shade than you can? And this pen reminds me of the Burberry pen that I loved so much that they discontinued or got rid of, because I found mine at Nordstrom's Rack. I'm assuming they don't make it anymore. This reminds me of that pen so much. It has that same creamy formula. It goes on nice and easily. It blends out like a dream. If you would like a great contour stick, definitely get your hands on this product. It is amazing. I absolutely love it. The Westman Atelier one is okay. I feel like you get more product in it, but I think they're around the same price if I remember correctly. This just more accessible because you can pick this one up at Sephora. So if you want to get it, go ahead and get it. I prefer the Victoria Beckham because I feel like it's easier to use. It's a smaller one, and I like the shade range better. So it's just up to you which one you want to choose based upon which one you like. But I feel like the form on this one is creamier and easy. It's creamy and easy to use as well. I just like the Victoria Beckham just a little bit more for the reasons I just named. Okay, y'all. To this MAC bronzer, I was so disappointed by this because everybody's acting like it's best things is sliced spread. I don't know if it's because it's part of the skin finish line. It's not giving enough bronzing for me, but there wasn't enough bronze in this. And I've used it quite a bit of times. I've used it over this to try to get myself to like it better. I don't like this. I'm not a fan. That's just it. I've tried it my hardest to like it. I just don't. It doesn't give enough bronze for what I need. This is one of those makeup no makeup bronzers that for people who like stuff like that, but this ain't for me. So I don't like it. But that's all the stuff I had to talk about finally. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Comment down below and tell me if you tried this and any stuff and your feelings on it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.